Danat Pranam Raja.
Danat Pranam Raja. Danat Pranam.
Yeah. Anyone has to ask anything regarding yesterday's topic?
Aji Raja, I have a question.
Yes.
So, yesterday you explained that Parabrahma was having infinite Anand and Akshar Brahma was having Anand, but it was in limited form. But if Akshar Brahma and Parabrahma are the same entity, but they're just two different sides of the same coin, then how can you understand this fact that Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma are having different values of Anand in them?
See, Parabrahma Sri Krishna, the another relation between Akshar Brahma and Parabrahma has been explained by Sri Mahaprabhuji by saying that Parabrahma Sri Krishna is the Dharmi and Akshar Brahma is the Dharma. It means the sun and the rays of the sun. This is the relation between Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma. When I say that they are not different, it means that they are not two entities. It means we cannot find two existing entities in the form of Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma. Because when Bhagavan decides to create this universe, he splits his Anand attribute into three parts, which is Sat, Chit and Ananda. Technically, when we want to define Parabrahma, the only definition of Parabrahma is Anando Brahmeti Vijnanat. It means Anand itself is Brahma. Now this is the definition of Parabrahma. But Anand means unlimitedness, absoluteness and infinity. Now when Bhagavan decides to create the universe, at that time he acquires the form of Akshar Brahma and splits his Anand into two parts, which is Sat and Chit, and then the third attribute is Anand. As we all know, Sat means to exist, Chit means consciousness and Anand means infinity. Now the existence of Brahma is infinite, the consciousness of Brahma is infinite, because Sat and Chit are not void of Anand. They have Anand in them. So this is the composition of Akshar Brahma. But what's the use of Akshar Brahma, or what is the purpose behind creating Akshar Brahma? So that's what Sri Mahaprabhuji wants to clear, that Akshar Brahma is like the Dharma and Parabrahma is like the Dharmi. Dharma and Dharmi means that attribute is known as Dharma and the one who upholds the attribute is known as Dharmi. So when Bhagavan is creating Akshar Brahma, he is creating Akshar Brahma with a particular purpose, and that purpose is to create the universe and as a place where Jnanamargi attains salvation. So this is the use of Akshar Brahma. This is what Akshar Brahma is meant for. Therefore, the attribute which is in Akshar Brahma is said to be limited. The Anand attribute is said to be limited. For example, sun itself is the source from where the heat originates, or the power originates, and the rays reach to us. Even they are hot. Even the rays have the same attribute of the sun, but they have it in limited proportion, not in unlimited proportion. Same way, a flower and the smell of the flower. The smell of the flower dwells in the flower. It doesn't stay anywhere else. But flower, being a flower is a different thing, and beingness of the smell the fragrance of the flower is a different thing. Same way, this is the relation between Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma as well. Akshar Brahma will be like the fragrance, Akshar Brahma will be like the dharma, and Parabrahma is the dharmi.
Ji Raja, so when you were explaining the two perspectives of Akshar Brahma yesterday, basically those two perspectives are of Akshar Brahma being the dharma and the tham.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Ji Raja, now it's clear.
Anyone else? Okay. There are 3-4 more things to be kept in mind regarding this subject. Now the first thing is that what Sri Mahaprabhuji is explaining Akshar Brahma as, that even the Jnana Margi attains salvation in Akshar Brahma, and the Bhakti Margis, even they attain salvation in the divine abode of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, which is known as Golok. Now what's the relation between these two? It means when we are saying that both of these attain salvation in the same place, then where do both these entities go? Or what sort of phal or result do they receive? Because the place is same, but still we say that because the methods are different, therefore they have to attain different fruits. It cannot be one. So Mahaprabhuji explains that yes, it is the fact that the beings who attain salvation, they attain Akshar Brahma. But what sort of result they attain? So Mahaprabhuji makes this clear that a being merges in the infinity of Akshar Brahma. They don't remain different. It means when we are particularly talking about the mukti, the liberation of Gyan Margis, then what is the Gyan Margis? So Mahaprabhuji explains that Gyan Marg is the method in which the Gyani or the Sadhak feels that Akshar Brahma or the infinity of Akshar Brahma in his soul. So Akshar Brahma itself is the infinite source of Sat and Chit. Therefore, when a being is said to be attaining Akshar Brahma, during the period of being Gyani, it means that the Gyan Margi will feel that no, I am not finite, my Jivatma is the part of infinite consciousness of Akshar Brahma. Therefore, being finite is my misunderstanding, and being a part of the consciousness of Akshar Brahma is the fact. So this is the understanding which a Gyan Margi develops, and he attains the Samadhi. We understood the meaning of Samadhi while understanding the Yoga Marg. So Samadhi is the condition which a being attains, and during that Samadhi, he feels that the infinity of Akshar Brahma is within him. And therefore, to feel that infinity, to understand that infinity, the Gyan Margi develops concentration upon Akshar Brahma, and there is a day after attaining Samadhi that he stops considering himself to be finite and the infinity of Akshar Brahma. He feels that infinity in his soul, and as a result, his Sadansh merges in the Sadansh of Akshar Brahma, his Chidansh merges in the Chidansh of Akshar Brahma, and he dilutes in the infinity of Akshar Brahma. This is the result of Gyan Marg. So when Mahaprabhuji is saying that he attains Akshar Brahma, it means that he merges in the infinity of Akshar Brahma. Now, Akshar Brahma is the second thing we must take care about is that Akshar Brahma is the infinite form of Parabrahma Shri Krishna, and Shri Krishna is the Sakar, the form of Akshar Brahma. So according to Shri Mahaprabhuji, Nirakarta and Sakarta are the two perspectives of Parabrahma, or the supreme entity. Only being infinite is not the real form. Same way, only being in the form is not the real form. Being both, it means along with being infinite, Shri Krishna is the form, and along with acquiring a form, Shri Krishna is infinite in the form of Akshar Brahma. So we can say that Sakarta is known as Krishna, and the Nirakar perspective, or the infinite perspective of Shri Krishna, is known as Akshar Brahma. The term Akshar means the one which is not perishable. The term Kshar means perishable, and Akshar means the one which is not perishable. In Gita, Bhagavan explains a shloka, Ksharaksharamatitoham aksharaadapi chottama atosmi loke vedecha prathitah purushottama. Now in this shlok, Mahaprabhuji explains that there are two entities in this universe. The one is Akshar and the second one is Akshar. This is what Bhagavan has to say. Kshar means all of us, because we all are perishable entities. Our existence is perishable, it is not permanent. On the second hand, we have Akshar Brahma. Akshar Brahma is non-perishable entity. It means as we die, as we get destroyed, Akshar Brahma doesn't get destroyed. Akshar Brahma doesn't die. It is infinite in that context. So Bhagavan says that Akshar and Akshar, these are the two created entities, and I am above both these, both Akshar and Akshar, and therefore I am Purushottam. I am known being Purushottam. So even this shlok makes it clear that what Mahaprabhuji has to say, that Akshar Brahma is the dharma, while Parabrahma Shri Krishna is the dharmi, like sun and the rays of the sun. Like this is the relation between Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma. Same is the understanding to be developed regarding here as well, what Sri Mahaprabhuji has to say. So Akshar Brahma is a perspective, it is not a different entity. Second thing, that same Akshar Brahma is said to be the Mukti Sthan of Bhakti Margis as well, because a being who follows the devotional path attains the divine adobe of Bhagavan as a result. It means all of us who are following the path of devotion for attaining Shri Krishna, we are going to attain Vaikuntha or Goloka Dham as a result. Now what's the difference? Mahaprabhuji has to say that Vaikuntha Dham itself is Akshar Brahma. It is not different, because the second form of Akshar Brahma is to be in the form of Vaikuntha. So where will we go and how will we attain the result? So Mahaprabhuji explains that the devotees who follow the devotional path, they attain Akshar Brahma in the form of divine adobe of Bhagavan, and they stay there in Vaikuntha, in Goloka Dham, and that's the result of a devotee, the person who is following the devotional path. Anyone has to ask anything regarding this? Okay. So now Vaikuntha is the place. Mahaprabhuji defines the dham, the divine adobe of Bhagavan, by saying that it is the place where Bhagavan resides, and everything there is infinite. Nothing is finite there. Second thing, that when Bhagavan wants to create the divine adobe at that time Bhagavan creates the being as well. It is not so that one by one the ones who are attaining salvation through devotional path are making their place in Golokadham. Yes, even they attain their place in Golokadham, but Bhagavan creates a different world for his divine adobe. It is known as, write down two terms, Nitya Leela Srishti and Srishti Leela. Nitya Leela Srishti, and the second one is Srishti Leela. Nitya Leela Srishti means that Bhagavan creates an independent world, independent space for his own adobe, which is known as Vaikunt or Golok. And secondly, it is known as Nitya Leela Srishti. It means Bhagavan creates the beings, Bhagavan creates everything for that world, and whatever is being created, it is not created through Akshar Brahma, it is directly created out of Parabrahma. So as Bhagavan removes the attribute of Anand from us, it doesn't happen with the beings which have been created for Vaikuntha or Golok. The Anand attributes remain present in them. That attribute of Anand remains present there. And therefore, everything, each and every person or each and every object which is in Vaikuntha, it is composed of Anand, and Anand remains present in each and every object there. So that is the Nitya Leela Srishti of Bhagavan, where Bhagavan resides. An individual being, the person who is attaining salvation through devotional path, attains that divine adobe of Bhagavan in the form of Vaikunt. But that Vaikunt is Akshar Brahma itself. Anyone has to ask anything? Okay. Can anyone summarize what I explained right now? Any one of you, voluntarily, whoever would like to. What's the relation between Akshar Brahma and Parabrahma and how to explain it? Can any one of you summarize it? I want answer from the participants. You people are not able to understand, then convey that it is going difficult. And if you are understanding and not asking, then summarize it out.
Wait, Raja, could you re-explain the concept of Dham and Dhami and Dharma and Dharmi?
Yes, I can. That's what I want to say always to all of you, that if you people are not able to understand, then convey that you are not getting into the subject. Just don't let it be. Yeah. So Dham and Dhami means that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is the one who is residing there, and Akshar Brahma is the place. It works as the place where Parabrahma Shri Krishna resides. Which is known as Vaikuntha. So Akshar Brahma has two roles to play. The first being Vaikuntha, being in the form of Vaikuntha, where Shri Krishna resides, and the second form of being into all the objects, all pervading, because Akshar Brahma, the Sat Chaitan Anand attribute of Akshar Brahma, works as the material for creating the worldly objects. the sentient and sentient beings, and Antaryami. You understood this much?
So Dham is Shri Krishna, the Dhami is Parabrahma, is where Parabrahma Shri Krishna resides, which is Vaikuntha.
No. Dhami, the one who resides in the Dham, is Parabrahma Shri Krishna, and Dham is the abode, which is Akshar Brahma in the form of Vaikuntha or Golok Dham.
So Dhami is Shri Krishna and Dham is where Parabrahma Shri Krishna resides.
Yes. The Dham term means the divine abode.
Okay.
You understood?
Yeah, that much I understood.
Okay. Now it is about Dharma and Dharmi. Dharma and Dharmi is the characteristic of Akshar Brahma in the context of universe. It means when Bhagavan wants to create the universe, he develops his attributes into three parts, Sat, Chit and Anand, and that perspective of Parabrahma Shri Krishna is known as Akshar Brahma. The perspective or the aspect of Parabrahma Shri Krishna through which he likes to create the universe. You understood this?
So when Bhagavan wants to create the universe, he separates into Satchit and Anand, which is then the forms which are composed of Akshar Brahma. So like Akshar Brahma is composed of three aspects, which are Satchit and Anand, and Bhagavan takes this root whenever he wants to create the universe.
So Bhagavan accepts the aspect of Akshar Brahma and creates the universal objects through it. So when we say that all the insentient objects are created out of Sat attribute, so it means that Sat attribute of Akshar Brahma will multiply itself in the form of infinite objects. Same way, when the Jivatma emerges out of Akshara Brahma, they emerge out of the Chit attribute of Akshara Brahma, not Parabrahma. You understood the difference?
So like things in this universe, like let's just say like a chair, table, that is all out of the form of Akshar Brahma, which Bhagavan takes.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, I understood that much.
Anyone else has any doubt regarding this first topic? Okay, then turn by turn, all of you start summarizing the relation of Akshar Brahma and Parabrahma. Go for it, one by one.
That's Raja.
Yeah.
So, you explained the two perspectives of Akshar Brahma, and Akshar Brahma is the Dharma and the Dham. So the relationship between Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma is of Dharmi and Dham Dhami. So Dharmi is the one who regulates the attribute, and Dharma is the attribute itself. So Dharmi, you gave the example of the sun and the sunlight. So the sun is the sun is the source of the sunlight. So in that same way, Parabrahma is the source of Akshar Brahma and is having the unlimited form of Satchit Anand. And Akshar Brahma is having Satchit Anand also, but that is in a limited form. Just like the sunlight, the rays of the sun are limited. They're having the same capacity, but they're limited in comparison to the sun itself. So in the same way, Akshar Brahma is limited when compared to Parabrahma. So then the next relationship was of Dham-Dhami. So Dhami is the one, Dham is the abode of Parabrahma, the Vaikuntha Lok, and Parabrahma is the Dhami who resides in that Vaikuntha Lok. So that is basically the relationship between Akshar Brahma and Parabrahma. And Akshar Brahma is in the form of all the objects, including all the objects in this universe are the manifestations of Akshar Brahma, because Akshar Brahma is having the Sat Chit Anand. So the Sat and the Chit, the Sat meaning the existence, and Chit is the consciousness. So using those two attributes, we see the Jad and the Chetan objects in the universe.
Fine. Next.
Sanvi explained the Dharma and Dharmi and Dham and Dhami, and I can go in more depth about the individual relationship between Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma. So Parabrahma is the most superior, and the Purna Purushottam attains this form to create the individual beings. On the other hand, Akshar Brahma is composed of Sat Chit and Anand. And so here it is the secondary level, as it is the form acquired by Parabrahma Shri Krishna in order to create this universe. And so here we can see Akshar Brahma conceived in all the forms, in both sentient and insentient objects, as it corresponds to both Sat, which is living, and then Sat, which is non-living, and then Chit, which is living. And so from this we can witness the diversity which is created from the Sat and Chit. And in Vaikuntha, this verse, after completing the topic of Seva, Shri Vallabhacharya explains the Siddhantmuktavali Brahmavad, and here we understand how even though Brahma is the absolute form, there is also the same infinite form has a form as well. And so that means that Bhagwan himself has no form and also a form as well, which are two opposing concepts. But many people can have the argument this is not true, but we can understand this by saying that because of the infinity of Brahma, we can incorporate both the objects of the infinite and finite. And so this is just like a little bit more in depth about the philosophy, but we have to understand that Krishna and Parabrahma, or like Parabrahma and Akshar Brahma, are not exactly different, but they're one supreme being, but on different levels.
Fine. Remaining participants, and then presentation your group.
Raja, we couldn't hear you. Your voice was glitching.
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear you either, Raja.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Now
now it's clear.
Raja, we can't hear you.
I don't think Raja is on the line.
Yeah, Radha got disconnected and I'm not sure she's joining back. Let's continue tomorrow because we have time. So I'm not sure she's not joining. Okay.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.